Alright, welcome back to another episode of Conan Exiles Builds. Uh, Today I'm going to try and cover two pieces in uh, one video because they started out using the same basic build. I came across a plan online. Uh, it was for a TTRPG, I believe, for a temple. So I took that temple and I built it to scale here in Conan Exiles. Got Temple of Mitra right there. Come out here. Courtyard, which I never got around to finishing. It just takes this, since this was never one of my main bases. I built this as a test run, uh, where this is where my iron mine is. There's my entertainer. So these were originally, according to schematics, bedrooms, but they're big enough I could put teleportation stone in there, storage, furnace, which I wasn't able to. My old trick of boxing it in, I couldn't get it to work, so yeah, it is what it is. Oh yeah, that's right, 'cause this one's a double door. And this leads back in here. This is all flush. You got those up there. Now, I did stray a bit from the original design, in addition to making those not bedrooms. So we're going to run up here. This was originally a series of 3 bedrooms on either side. I turned it into one massive master bedroom. I'm not sure why, because this is nothing but an outpost, really. Then you have, well, let me come across here. This is something I added because in the original game, there wasn't a walkway over to this, or in the original design there wasn't a walkway over to this section. It was just here, and it felt kind of wasted to me, so I just added that little stretch there. That's the Tower of the Bat in the background, in case you're curious. So we are going to, we're almost to the top. So in the original design, the tower only went up another level or so, and then there was a beacon style lamp up there, which you can't really do beacons very well in this game, so I just never bothered. And this leads into my iron mine area. So that's more or less what the original design was. Let's see here. We're going to go up in here into, what is this, G9. I build up here all the time. This has become one of my favorite places to build in endgame. As you can see, I had to do a lot more build up because the area here is nowhere near as flat. I will not be reusing this design in this spot just because it doesn't work. I added some of the Aesir fortifications, which some spots work better than others. Like for some reason, these spots, the walls went up a little bit higher and wouldn't allow me to place anything up there. So we come in here, and same basic layout. This was originally just raised foundations, but for whatever reason I couldn't get them to work properly, which resulted in characters having to jump in order to go up the quote-unquote steps. So I added the stage steps, and it works much better. Storage back there for sacrificial related stuff. This courtyard's a good bit more built up. I never got around to finishing it just because that takes a lot of material to build enough to completely fill these areas. I do have a couple house cats though. I got some suggestions for what to do with some of these off of Reddit. Conan Exiles subreddit. I did change things up quite a bit at this location though, out of necessity. Since this was a full base, started out here with a furnace, which kind of sort of worked the way I wanted it to. Got a nice crammed blacksmith area. Then in here you have your armor smithing. Not quite as packed, but still pretty packed. The transportation stone is out here. Staircase, which wasn't in the old one, or in the original design. We are now in what would originally have been 6 bedrooms, which is still 6 rooms. It's just, instead of being bedrooms, you can fit in all of the different workshops. And you'll notice for the interior walls I'm using Acer. This was all originally reinforced stone. One of the things I added onto this was a storage room, which can be accessed from both floors in the main build area. And of course, like the other one, staircase goes to both there and on the outside here. Let's flip back into first person mode for this. I did extend this out a little bit so I can complete the challenge of the I can't remember what it's called, the siege cauldron. And I was forced to add buildings onto here because well, this was originally going to be full of what the hell is it called? The Thrall Wheels of Pain. There you go. And as you can see, that's the top floor of a section down there, which we will get into. I did run into a slight malfunction while building the tower up, but it was one that in order to fix I would have had to have shifted the entire build over one block, and since the tower was literally the last part of the lower build, like that right there, you can find yourself underneath that thing real easily if you're not paying attention while running up the stairs. So we have Aquilonian up here with Acer interior walls. There's a little bit of a trophy room here. Combination of tools that I use while leveling up before getting better gear, to legendaries I'm not using, to just decorations to try and make it look nicer. Old armors, or in some cases current armors, like one of these. Here we go. This is Coldbreaker, or Godbreaker, with the cold protection on it. just illusion to look like a Yamatai set. Arrows, because I use a crap ton of them. So we got Nemedean flooring. Or not Nemedean, Acer flooring. Into the bedroom. And of course, Dances with Bears is up here. So, let's see here. This walkway runs all the way around on the outside. But we're going to go back onto the inside. So we finish showing this off. We'll step out here. And in here we've got the restroom. Kitchen. Kitchen storage, which doesn't really get used much. It's mostly stuff that you don't have to worry about refrigerating. Oh yeah, that's another. The Acer fortifications don't come with any kind of wedge pieces. So if you're doing a design that requires wedge pieces, you'll have to try and figure out what you want to do with it from there. This is the Apollonian door and a Turanian wall frame or door frame. Let's see here. Got a bit of a study started here. Storage for various bits and bops that. This is all dies over here. Which some of those dies were in the wrong spot, I noticed. I'll sort that later. Alright, so I've been testing some ideas for treasure room protection, and because of how remote I have my current one set up, I have a thing here for so I can just let it build up, and when I get a crap ton of it I can take it across. I did that because originally these were the regular elevators, which are so slow. I'd forgotten how slow the regular elevators are because I'd gotten out of the use of using them. Like most of my builds, you don't need elevators; they're just nicer. So I would like just use stairs until I managed to get the fast elevator schematics. But when you're carrying treasure across those large heavy pieces of treasure, it's so slow, and if you're not careful you can get caught up on some spots like that one right there I just ran over. Like if you're carrying treasure, your character will not step up on that. You have to work your way around it, find an angle where your character will actually step up. So that up there is my treasure room. How did I get a build up there to line up with down here? Well, I used pillars. Build up a set of pillars, climb to the top, build up another set of pillars, climb to the top so they're higher, climb to the top of those, and just keep working my way up until I lined up where I wanted to be. And then used ceiling tiles to move the level over. Look at that elevation. We're so far away from my main house, it doesn't even spawn. Right there is where my main house would be. So in here I went for the double layer protection. I'll get to what that is in a minute. So inside a set of exterior walls here, we have the Lost Dungeon walls, which are nice and thick. They cover up the entire space. Got a lot of room here. I do have a problem though. There seems to be a glitch that they haven't fixed. Like all this stuff, these coin piles, these decorative plates, all these larger, like this is a treasure, those are treasures. Those should all count. Those should all appear on your list. And they will when you put them down until you log out. When you log out, the only thing that stays on the list is the stuff that is actually in the treasure chest, which is BS. So we're going to step out. Oh wait, no, I've still got to show you part of the plan, because of how this game works. I doubt they will spawn directly inside the thing. They will have to spawn somewhere. So I created this area up here, airlock doors, lost a few layers of lost ceiling here, or at least one layer of lost ceiling here, I should say. And the plan was I was going to level up a bunch of fighters and archers and whatnot, and just, I don't know, put a bunch of them in here. So that way when the enemy AI inevitably spawns here, I'll have fighters here to kill them. Alternatively, I thought, well, what if they don't spawn there? What if they spawn on the roof instead? Well, roof access. So we are going to go into flight mode. And yes, this was a pain in the ass. Yes, I did fall to my death a few times. But there's so much, and some of it even bleeds through. I haven't figured out why sometimes it bleeds through and sometimes it doesn't. But you can see bits and pieces of the, that's Lost Dungeon. You can see the Lost Dungeon bleeding through there, but you don't see it bleeding through anywhere else. And I have no idea why. So we are going to zip zoom back down this way. This wasn't so bad. I never fell to my death on this one. Although apparently I did forget to, oh that's right, because I extended it. It originally ended right here. So we're going to zip down here real quick. Down into these sections. Alright, this is for my necromancy stuff. Mostly because I didn't have room for it anywhere in the main building. I'm not gonna lie, these are a little bit of an afterthought because wasn't really using the zombies a whole lot. This I originally had this in the main courtyard, but replaced it with a statue when I decided to build out a little bit. And then of course I needed some place for my stables. So those are two large alterations to my initial plans. That said, all in all, I do think that the design is good, but you have to have a nice large flat space in order to use it. Because look how far up I had to build that. Maybe next time, well, I won't use this design here again. I might use it elsewhere, but in this spot's just not level enough for a large build like that. It takes way too much foundation, way too much material to keep it level. So, thank you for sticking out through this video. I'll see you in the next one.